Welcome back to Movies on the Brain, where we explore the fun and wacky side of cinema. I'm Jason, and today I'm diving into the world of gadgets, gizmos, and a little bit of chaos with Inspector Gadget. Directed by David Kellogg, Inspector Gadget brings a beloved cartoon character to life with a mix of humor, action, and plenty of outlandish inventions. Starring Matthew Broderick, Rupert Everett, and Jolie Fisher, this film takes us on a bumbling adventure full of twists, turns, and of course, a whole lot of gadgets. In Inspector Gadget, we're introduced to a high-tech hero who's as clumsy as he is determined. Let's dive into this gadget-packed adventure and see what makes it a memorable spin on the classic cartoon. Inspector Gadget opened in theaters on July 23rd, 1999 with a budget of $90 million. During its 20-week theatrical run, it earned a total of $97.4 million domestically and $37 million internationally, making a worldwide total of $134.4 million. Its opening weekend saw it earn $21.8 million, finishing number 2 in the box office, only behind The Haunting, which also opened the same weekend. Its final week in theaters saw it earn $74,419, finishing its box office run at number 48. John Brown lives in Riverton, Ohio with his niece Penny and her pet beagle Brain, dreaming of becoming a police officer. Brown works as a security guard for the Bradford Robotics Laboratory. Artemis Bradford and his daughter Brenda are designing a lifelike robotic foot as part of the Gadget program designed to add android officers to the Riverton Police Department. Sanford Skolex, a tycoon, uses a robotic tank to break into the Bradford laboratory and steal the foot to build an army of androids from its technology, assassinating Artemis in the process. Brown chases after Skolex's limousine in his hatchback, but Brown's car gets flipped over due to an oil slick from Skolex's limo, leading both vehicles to crash into a billboard. Brown is blown up in his upside-down car from Skolex's dynamite stick disguised as a cigar and left for dead. But a bowling ball launched by the explosive blast from the destroyed car lands in the limo and crushes Skolex's left hand. Skolex receives a mechanical claw from his associate Kramer, taking on the alias Claw. Brenda decides to make Brown, who nearly died from the fiery car explosion, the first test subject for the Gadget program. She builds an array of gadgets into his body and gives him the alias Inspector Gadget, inserting a control chip as his power supply. Brenda and a guru give Brian an orientation on using his gadgets, which goes awry when the guru is hospitalized by a pinch to the testicles inadvertently caused by Brown. He is helped by the Gadgetmobile, a robotic car with a chatty AI. Despite struggling with his new gadgets, Brown stops two criminals trying to rob a car. At a charity ball, Skolex approaches Brenda, having known her at Harvard, inviting her to work for him in her own laboratory. Brenda accepts, unaware that Skolex plans to steal her technological ideas and designs. Unimpressed with Brown, Police Chief Quimby assigns him to menial assignments rather than investigate Artemis's murder. Upset at not being taken seriously, Brown decides to begins investigating on his own and finds a piece of scrap metal, which he later connects to Skolex with Penny's help. Skolex uses Brenda's research to build his own android, Go-Go-Gadget, sending him out on a rampage across Riverton to frame Brown, who infiltrates Skolex's lab to recover the foot, but is caught and deactivated when Skolex breaks his chip. Skolex's minion Sykes dumps Brown in a junkyard and then is tasked to dispose of the foot. Brenda encounters her own robotic doppelganger, Robo-Brenda, who confirms Skolex stole the foot and murdered her father. Brenda, Penny, Brain, and the Gadgetmobile track Brown to a junkyard where a kiss from Brenda awakens him, proving Brown's human willpower can control his new body without the chip. After dropping Penny and Brain off at home, Brown and Brenda chase Skolex and Robo-Gadget's limo. Brown and Robo-Gadget fall off the roof and duel on a bridge until Brown removes the latter's head, tossing it into the river, though Robo-Gadget's body runs off. Brenda crashes their Gadgetmobile into Skolex's limo but is taken prisoner. Skolix tries to escape in a helicopter, but Brown appears using his helicopter hat to intercept. Skolix destroys it, and Brown is stuck hanging from the landing skis. Brown deconstructs a pin in his finger whilst remembering the visualizing his goal advice from the guru, and launches the metal ink chamber, sending it bouncing around until it hits a button on Skolix's claw, causing it to clamp shut and break the joystick of the helicopter. Brenda leaps out of the spinning helicopter onto Brown's back, and they fall down the side of the Skolix's skyscraper, using a parasol to land safely. Skolix parachutes down, but lands in the Gadgetmobile and is captured by it. The police arrive to arrest Brown, but Penny appears with a repentant and reformed Sykes, who confesses his boss's crimes to the police. Saluted and acknowledged by Quimby as an actual member of the police force, Brown departs with Brenda and Penny, while Skolix vows to revenge as he is taken away by cops. The film ends with Brown and Brenda beginning a relationship and the Gadgetmobile driving after a red car. Now let's look at the cast and some of their other roles. Matthew Broderick as John Brown and Robo-Gadget. Other roles for Matthew Broderick include Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Simba in The Lion King, and Hubble in Good Boy. Rupert Everett as Sanford Skolix, aka Dr. Claw. Other roles for Rupert Everett include Oscar Wilde in The Happy Prince, the Duke of Wellington in Napoleon, and Prince Charming in Shrek 2 and Shrek the Third. Jolie Fisher as Dr. Brenda Bradford and Robo Brenda. Other roles for Jolie Fisher include Ruth in Nosferatu, Wendy in the TV show Last Man Standing, and Lucy Hudson in Nostradamus. Michelle Trachtenberg as Penny Brown. Before her passing in early 2025, other roles for Michelle Trachtenberg included Dawn Summers in the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Jenny in Eurotrip, and Maggie in 17 again. Michael G. Haggerty as Sykes. Before his passing in April of 2022, other roles for Michael G. Haggerty include Breckenridge in The Last Time, Mike in the TV show Lucky Louie, and George Hurst in Apache Junction. Andy Dick as Kramer. Other roles for Andy Dick include Officer Doyle in Sharknado 2, the second one, Mark Ricks in Freaky Deaky, and Lon in Employee of the Month. Renee Auberjonois as Dr. Artemis Bradford. Before his passing in December of 2019, other roles for Renee Auberjonois included Reverend Oliver in The Patriot, Tony in Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach, and Dr. Burton in Batman Forever. D.L. Hewley as the voice of the Gadgetmobile. Other roles for D.L. Hewley include Johnny in Soul Plane, John Wilson in Scary Movie 3, and Eugene Johnson in the TV show Johnson. Dabney Coleman as Chief Frank Quimby. Before his passing in May of 2024, other roles for Dabney Coleman included McKittrick in War Games, Nelson Fox in You've Got Mail, and Burton Fallon in the TV show The Guardian. Sherry O'Terry as Mayor Wilson. Other roles for Sherry O'Terry include Gail Hailstorm in Scary Movie, Jane the Receptionist in Liar Liar, and Esther in the TV show Puppy Dog Pals. Frances Bay as Thelma. Before her passing in September of 2011, other roles for Frances Bay included Grandma and Happy Gilmore, Dottie in The Wedding Planner, and Mrs. Steiner in Stranger Than Fiction. J.P. Minogue as the mayor's psychophantic assistant. Other roles for J.P. Minogue include Mr. Hackett in the TV show Phil of the Future, Pentagon Darren in Nobody, and Finn in Gridlocked. Brian George as the Sore Guru. Other roles for Brian George include Alfred in Batman the Killing Joke, the Suit of Armor in Hotel Transylvania, and Captain Hector Barbossa in the Kingdom Hearts 3 video game. Richard Penn as the Fantastic Doctor. Other roles for Richard Penn include the funeral director in The Last Shot, Dr. Cooper in the TV show The Bold and the Beautiful, and Mr. Galvin in Dr. Dolittle. Sonia Eddy as the hospital secretary. Before her passing in December of 2022, Other roles for Sonia Eddy include Epiphany Jones in the TV show General Hospital, Wanda in Pee-wee's Big Holiday, and Hannah in the Incredible Wonderstone. Andy Hayward as Mr. DIC. This has been Andy Hayward's only role. He's best known for being a producer for the TV show Sailor Moon, the TV show Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and the TV show uh, Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Don Adams as the voice of Brain. Before his passing in September 2005, other roles for Don Adams included Maxwell Smart in the 1965 TV show Get Smart, Harry Walker in Jimmy the Kid, and Howard Bannister in the TV show Check It Out. You know, I always liked it when when Disney did the Disney animation logo animation in the same style as the movie you're watching. I kind of wish they still do that. And if they do, let me know if they still do. I don't think they do from all movies. But I'd like to know what other movies they do it in. The intro title screen is so nostalgic for me since I grew up on the movie. That dream sequence to start the movie off is so comical, and it does a bit of foreshadowing on the hero Officer Brown will become. It's wild to see how young Michelle Trachtenberg was in this, considering the age difference between Michelle Trachtenberg and Matthew Broderick in this. They have such good chemistry on screen that they really make you believe they're uncle and niece. As soon as Frances Bay came on screen, I got the biggest smile. She had to have been the best elderly actress at this time because she was everywhere. The chase scene was pretty fun. I do like how Rupert Everett is playing Skull X. I wonder if that's actually Matthew Broderick in the full body cast. I love how they edited showing John freaking out about becoming a cybernetic police officer and cutting to how Skull X is adjusting to his claw for a hand. Nice save by John when Brenda was explaining how to use his gadgets. It's during this scene that I really noticed the chemistry between Matthew Broderick and Jolie Fisher. Go-Go-Gadget had to be fun for Matthew Broderick because up to this point, I don't think he had played a villain in any movies. The scene where Penny and Brenda find John in the junkyard is such a good scene. It's probably the best scene in the movie. And honestly, I feel like it's your typical superhero movie, but man, it's good and it's well acted too from everybody. Now, I did find some fun facts about this movie. I'll let you know what now, because here's those fun facts. More than 150,000 Skittles spill in the Gadgetmobile after it crashes into Skull X's limo. Don Adams, the original voice of Inspector Gadget in the Inspector Gadget cartoon, provides the voice of Brain in the closing credits. Tom Hanks, Kevin Costner, Mel Gibson, Jim Carrey, Brendan Fraser, Robin Williams, Tim Allen, Mike Myers, Bill Paxton, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, Steve Carell, Jerry Seinfeld, Adam Sandler, and Kevin Kline were all considered for the role of Inspector Gadget. Lindsay Lohan turned down the role of Penny due to her working on her first movie, The Parent Trap. Willem Dafoe, James Earl Jones, Tim Curry, Jack Nicholson, John Lithgow, Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, Jon Voight, and Tommy Lee Jones were all considered for the role of Sanford Skullx. David Alan Grier, Eddie Murphy, and Chris Tucker were all considered for the voice of the Gadgetmobile. And that's a wrap on my review of Inspector Gadget. This film brings plenty of laughs, gadget, and a bit of nostalgia for fans of the classic cartoon. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movies on the Brain for more fun-filled breakdowns. And here's a question for you. Should I check out the sequel and give it a review? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world of movies, one gadget at a time.